Thank you for joining us for this Out and About Extra. I'm Diane Gonzalez. The Lincoln Arts Festival is back for a 21st year, and for the second year in a row, the event takes place on Canopy Street and in the rail yard in Lincoln's historic Haymarket. The two-day event, June 18th and 19th, is sponsored by the Lincoln Arts Council. And joining me today is Alexandra McCracken. She is the council's events manager. Allie, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with an overview. What can people expect from this year's festival?
Yeah, so like you said, we are back in our prime location for the second year on Canopy Street and in the rail yard. We're really excited to be kind of settled into this prime location in the kind of the heart of the arts and culture district. And so we have 90 plus selling artists. About 70% of those travel from outside the city of Lincoln to be here. So we have artists all the way from California to Florida and a wide range of mediums. A lot of jewelers, a lot of potters. We have glass blowers, sculpture art, wood, fiber arts, of course classic painting, and just many, many wonderful visual arts that really, with a diverse mix of styles and things of that nature. Alongside of that, we also have demonstrations, art activities, we have some exciting pop-up events that are to be unexpected, and a wide array of different types of art. So while we are fine arts focused, and the art sale is a very primary part of what we do, we have really expanded into becoming kind of an all-inclusive community event that showcases interactive events and demonstrations so that everyone can come and participate.
All right. Now this year, you're going to have some creative zones. There's 4 zones. Tell me about each one of those.
Okay, well, you know, primarily in the past, I think the Lincoln Arts Festival was kind of focused on it being an art sale. And because of what we do at the Lincoln Arts Council, you know, we are really a community development organization that communicates through art. And so a big part of what we do is create clear pathways for artists to make art their full-time job, but we also want to be accessible, a place to make the arts accessible. And so that is representative by our creative zones. And this year we've decided to kind of theme out the zones. And that, once again, is kind of reflective of these different sectors of our community. One being the planet, sustainability, eco-activities. Art communicates ideas, and so we want to do that. These are kind of like the focuses right now of things that are important in community development, eco and sustainability factors being one of them, but also advocacy and, you know, being able to communicate these kinds of ideas through different advocacy organizations. We have our innovation and industry creative zone, and that in my mind is kind of honing in on the economic sector. You know, what are the advances in technology? How can people who want to make art their full-time job, what direction can they go with that? And so we're exploring that area. And then of course we always have many kid-friendly activities. This is really meant to be all-inclusive for all ages. So while, you know, there's tons of things to do for kids, no matter what age you are, there's going to be demonstrations and activities so that you can come and learn a thing or two. You can come and kind of immerse yourself in your arts communities and just get to know people.
Now the festival also incorporates live performances, so tell us who some of the performers this year will be.
Well, you know, the world stage is definitely a work in progress down to the last minute, and I hope that we'll have a release here in the next couple of weeks with some time slots so that people can really know what they want to get out and see and the right time to come for them. So in the morning on Saturday, you're going to see a little bit more kind of jazzy bluegrass things where if you're coming to the local farmers market, you can make your way to the art sale, see a little bit of art, stop in, maybe have your coffee and listen to some bossa nova jazz or some bluegrass by the Shucks Brothers. If you come later in the afternoon, you're likely to catch a performance by Big Top Aerial Arts or a cool world music DJ. And then if you come into the later evening, we have our Lincoln Calling Showcase from 6 to 10. So really depending on what you're looking for, we have it. You know, check the schedule. We have LNK Arts Fest on social media. And that will give you a good idea of maybe the right timing to come based on what you're interested in. And, you know, like you said, just art activities running all day long, a great way to learn techniques and just kind of communicate with your local artists.
All right, let's give people the details. The Lincoln Arts Festival, again, is coming up Saturday, June 18th and Sunday, June 19th. The hours are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday, and then, as Allie mentioned, there'll be Lincoln Calling music after that. And then the hours on Sunday are 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. This takes place on Canopy Street and in the rail yard, kind of takes over the whole area in a fun way. Check out lnkartsfest.com. Also check out the social media. You'll be able to check out the artists, maybe plot your way through the festival, and there's so much to see. Sometimes you probably may need to come back for 2 days.
That's right.
Last year, I know the demonstration, the glass blowing demonstration, drew a lot of interest. What kind of demonstrations will be taking place this year?
Yeah, we have some fun new things happening. While we do have some of our kind of tried and true demonstrations coming back for a second time, we have, like I said, with these themes, we have some different things. And so if you walk into our eco zone, you can learn how to make paper from Kayla Vonderchek, a local environmental activist here in town, and she makes paper from old bills and magazines and kind of recycled materials. We have Nolan Treadway, who is a local artist who was one of the contributors to Meow Wolf in Colorado, and so he's whipping up kind of a art installation that you can walk through that's made from old recycled plastic bags and PVC material. So he'll be giving a demonstration, but you can also kind of walk into this geometric dome of art interest and check out some additional art activities. Let's see, we have the Palette Project. They're going to be doing a large pop-up community mural with local artist Kat Weiss. She is really putting something together that's fantastic. Some of it will already be in place, and if you know her work, it's just very stunning. And if you walk up and you work with the Palette Project and her, she'll actually help you with certain techniques and kind of to learn some of the ways that she uses to make these things happen. So what we'll have in result is this large 8-foot by 10-foot canvas that is a kind of all hands on deck, you know, community piece. And that's another one of, I guess you could say, the overarching themes to our creative zones. It's this community-driven installation art where the end result is the work of many hands. It may be just a simple piece of origami that you make that really you learn how to do in 5 minutes, but you add it to something that creates a more grand and interesting end result. And so I love the idea of art that is communal, that we do together. You know, art is it's something that a lot of times you do work on it as a solo artist because we all have our ideas and we all want our end result. But it's really fun when you can see what kind of form things can take on when you have multiple people working on it. And it's a connector, once again, you know, and that's what we need right now. And that's such a strong point for the existence of art in Lincoln.
Now tell us about how many volunteers you need for this, because I volunteered for many years. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work too.
That's right. Gosh, in total, I guess that number, I want to say if we could fill every volunteer spot, it's maybe between 50 and 60. And so we have a lot of different opportunities. You know, if you are kind of more of someone who wants to work behind the scenes and just come for 3 hours and help us set up, we need you. If you want to work with artists and be able to talk, we have our artist hospitality section. Nothing really requires that you come for an entire 8 or 10 hour shift.
Right.
You can come in 3 hours. We are a nonprofit, and this is a free community event. So while it is an art sale, every bit of money that we make goes right back into doing this again next year. So we are reliant on volunteers, and we want that community experience. So really, whatever way that people want to get involved, it's there, and it's just a nice opportunity to be able to come and get to know the people who are making art happen in the city, because we want everybody to be there. If you're an artist in the city, or you're a spectator, or you're hoping to make art your full-time job, this is a really nice time to get to know this community, because then the options continue long after that. That's how it all begins.
All right, the place to go, lnkartsfest.com. That's where you can sign up for one of those super fun volunteer opportunities. You can also become a patron to help support the Lincoln Arts Council and the Lincoln Arts Festival. You do a sponsorship, a patron amount, get invited to a special reception. That's really nice. Then most of the money that you use for your patronage goes back to art bucks that you get to spend at the festival. Some of it goes as a donation to the Arts Council, but the art bucks are really fun to walk around with, and the artists really like to see when you're paying with art bucks. It's a way they can guarantee the artists that people have already purchased art even before the festival, so it's pretty cool. Again, you can sign up for that at lnkartsfest.com. And I don't want to miss this opportunity to promote one of the artists who's one of my favorite. I love glass.
Yeah.
This is a piece created by Mark Kornblue, who is going to be one of the artists at the festival.
Right.
I believe his work is also going to be featured on a billboard
That
as
is
well.
correct. Yes,
You'll
his
see
work is
some
absolutely stunning.
really fun billboards around town. So just a small little sample, a small little taste of the kind of great art you're going to see, really from local artists and from all over the nation.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you had fun putting it all together?
I have. You know, it's been kind of a whirlwind, and everything has been going very quickly, and so I am super excited to see how it's all going to come together. The vision, as the events manager, I'm really playing off of all the success that we've had for 21 years, and it's very easy to get people on board because this is super fun, and it's last year, I think, we're really kind of hitting a peak with just being on Canopy Street and in the rail yard. It's such a great place to be. And so now we're just excited about kind of the evolution of the council, the Lincoln Arts Council, and how the festival will continue to be reflective of what we do and how we're growing and how the festival can grow. So I guess I would just say at this point, while we are in kind of this final hour, we kind of know what's going on here with our art activities and the world stage. We want it all. It's like if you are doing art and you are in this area and you're thinking, well, I should be there, reach out, because we have the lnkartsfest.com, tons of ways to reach out and make contact with me in particular, and maybe you can squeeze in. We don't have room for actual selling artists, but like I said, we have these activity partners. We still have open slots on the world stage that come in little increments. We always have room for spontaneous pop-ups. And so reaching out, it's, if not this year, then next, but we want to know who you are, and that's will be an ongoing process always.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Allie. Mark your calendars now. The Lincoln Arts Festival, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, June 18th, and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Sunday, June 19th. Saturday night, don't miss the Lincoln Calling performers on the stage. This all takes place on Canopy Street and the rail yard in the historic Haymarket. lnkartsfest.com is the website. You can check out the artists. You can volunteer for a super fun volunteer opportunity. You can sign up to be a patron. So lots of information there on the website, and more will be added as more is added to the festival. So Allie, thanks again so much for joining us.
Thanks so much.
And we hope to see you at the Lincoln Arts Festival.